Welcome back to Daily Flash. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. Time to get flashed. We dish out some hot topics that we will sound off on. We want you to join us in the conversation with your thoughts on our social media. You guys ready?
We are ready. And we have 15 seconds each, right?
Yeah,
to kind of say our part, and then we kind of all talk after.
Okay, first up, here's our first topic. A viewer asks if she should get flashed or not for changing the name of her daughter after a request from her sister-in-law.
Okay.
She says, my husband and I came up with a name for our daughter and told the family. Now, for months, no one said anything. Weeks after giving birth, my sister-in-law came to me and asked if we would change her name from Ember to something else. Turns out it was the name of her stillborn daughter. The viewer said no, she would not change it.
Yeah.
Was she wrong for not respecting her sister-in-law's request? Mitch, I'll start
All right,
with you.
first up, listen, a name is a name. It goes with you for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
by all means. And a parent, that's one of the hardest decisions they have to make, is what they're going to call you. By all means, no, she should not have had to change it at all, even if, this is what they worked on. And the whole time she'll be thinking about that, as morbid as that sounds, and I'm sorry, as mean as it sounds, there's no way you can go around it. When that child is who that you've thought of to give that name, it has to be something that you'd be able to keep.
Maddie.
That is a hard no for me. Like my wife and I have already kind of picked out kids' names. If we get there, our first two, a boy or a girl, and we're not changing it no matter what anybody in the family says. Like my family's got some weird names, and none of us said anything, so we went with it. Plus, I mean, come on, the last name's Doolittle. The kid's gonna be stuck with that anyway. So the first name's gonna be fine, and then they're stuck with that one. So no, you're not changing it. I'm sorry.
Is Dewey Doolittle an option?
No,
not an option at
So
all.
your thoughts? I mean, if you think about it, is it disrespecting the parents' decision?
I think if she hadn't said anything, if she hadn't sent out the card and said, hey, this is our plan, this is how we plan to name the child, then maybe at that point this person should have spoken up about it.
That's a good point, yeah.
I can understand it, and then it's kind of a family thing. It's like, why did you name your child this? It's sort of a stigma now, but I don't know why no one said anything to begin with.
In the first place. Maybe like a middle name, too.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, a viewer asks if she should get flashed or not for not allowing her fiance's best friend to come to their wedding. Now, there's a twist to this story, okay? So hold on to your seats. She says, I'm not inviting my fiance's best friend to our wedding because she pretends that I don't exist. To make matters worse, he's done nothing to address the situation. My fiance said he did not want to end his friendship with her or do anything to jeopardize it because he wonders what would happen if we broke up.
Okay.
This made me wonder if he would protect me as his wife since he wasn't making me a priority as his girlfriend / fiance. So who's in the right here?
All right. Can I go first?
Yeah.
All right. First, okay. So my understanding. So his best friend is a girl.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then 100%. I mean, it sounds like they just had a study out a while back that most women have a backup plan.
Yeah.
They have somebody in their mind if they get divorced. Sounds like that's what this person is. If unfortunately, you have to walk away, and if they're as close as they are, that person would understand. Hey, look, my new wife doesn't want you at the wedding.
Yeah.
So if you're a good enough friend as you are, which obviously it's going to be stressed out in the first place, then don't oblige to it at all. Wow.
Matt?
I think you got to compromise. There were a few people on both sides of our lists when we did them where I'm like, does that one really have to come from her side? And on my side, she's like, does that one have to come? I don't know. Mitch might have get a little sideways because does he need to come? Does this one? But I mean, we kind of both looked at it. It was like no ex-boyfriends or girlfriends, even if we are friends with them still, because I'm friends with a couple of my ex-girlfriends.
Sure.
And so it was kind of that like, okay, let's adhere to that type of thing. So I think you come to a common agreement.
Yeah,
really.
and I think too, like, if you're marrying this person, she has to be your priority.
No,
not
100%,
your best friend. Like, I get it. You've got to. Then if she's really your best friend, then maybe you're marrying the wrong person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because you're supposed to be marrying your best friend in the first place. Right,
I just keep thinking of my best friend's wedding with Julia Robertson. Last one here. A viewer asks if he should get flashed for purposely leaving his brother in the cold at family events. My brother is upset about being left out of family events and the siblings group chat. He also is being ignored at work, and some of his colleagues don't invite him out to events outside of work hours. I told him that he is essentially excluding himself and that his behavior is the reason why he's left off the invite list. Should he get flashed or bring his brother back into the fold? Mitch?
All right. Well, I know I have two brothers, two sisters, and if we don't do this group chat or whatever. But if we did, it seems like you should do whatever you can, even if you know the answer is going to be no. You should still extend that out, because it could be a one time. He might be going through something. is he has the invitation there that it's always there. If you forget one time, you're going to forget every time, and then eventually, well, they say you didn't even want me there in the first place.
Yes.
So I think he should continue to invite him to come in. And matter of fact, that brother should be in, even if you don't comment. At least you know what's going on in your family, and not leaving out in the cold, and not going in, just at least saying, well, I can't make it because of, at least work a decent excuse into it.
What if he's the kind of guy that doesn't comment with a couple of lines, but with paragraphs in text?
Okay, well then that's a different story. No, you gotta let him say it.
Okay,
I mean, you
all
know, if you put him on that list, you know that's probably what you're going to get out of the deal. So yeah, I can imagine that.
Matt,
would be
group
a big
chat, no
problem.
group chat.
Well, I don't have any brothers or sisters, but I think you've got to be careful with, maybe he's got a background that they don't like inviting to stuff. Maybe he's too much of a drinker or something at some of these events, and they're like, hey, maybe we keep Tommy out of this one soiree we're having, because he gets a little screwy, but he's going to see it on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a family dynamic you got to be careful with there, because there's some people that we don't invite to some of our group stuff just because we're like, that one gets a little sideways. But if we're having a whole-on party, then we will invite them.
But it does say something about his personality if he's also sort of being excluded at work events and with coworkers.
Yeah,
so
comes
there's
off
weird then,
something
maybe.
going on there. But does excluding him make matters worse?
I think it would, but it will reassure whatever he's going through is real. And and if you're family, you're able to tell people generally how you feel about them, and maybe that's what. Hey, look, we want to invite you, but every time it seems like there's some kind of issue. What's going on?
Every time you show up and you strip down.
Rethink why I don't get invited to much.
If you want to sound off on these stories, all you have to do is head to our socials and tell us what you think. Head to our website. There's a sound off button right there, dailyflashshow.com.
We got more. We're doing Car Smarts right around the corner.